So at this conference, don't you dare let your mind say, oh, I'm not doing that. It doesn't take all that. I'm not doing that. It doesn't take all that. You'll be average the rest of your life.
That's not just a dancing gift, that's your sword. That's not just a singing gift, that's your sword. That's not just a business, that's your sword.
When you give up, you quit, and you'll never go back. So I'm trying to get you to understand that going and moving forward in the process, even though that you face opposition and adversity, you have to keep going.
It's been tough. It's been hard. I had those days where I just said, I can't take it anymore. I had those days where I cried out. I didn't think no one was listening. While it's been tough, it's been so tough. But I'm still here. I'm still breathing. I'm still fighting, but most importantly, I'm still learning. I'm learning through the hardship. I'm learning through the tough time. I'm learning through the losses. I'm learning.
Great people pay attention to every single little detail. Peak performers understand that detail matter. Peak performers understand that that's how you kick the competition's butt. Detail. When you win by one, sometimes the smallest little detail matter. I used to think that way. It doesn't take all that. But you know what? In my basketball career, I played 3 years, and I should have had a longer career because I did not pay attention to detail. Peak performers understand that detail matter. Peak performers understand that that's how you kick the competition's butt. The first day of high school, I walked in full of confidence. I believe confidence is arrogance under control.
That's not just you doing whatever can come to your mind. That's your sword. You gotta know the difference. Stop letting people tell you that's just a stick. But it's not a stick. That's a sword in your hand. And that sword is gonna break down giants. That sword is gonna cut down everything that's standing in your way. You got to have your vision, and you can't let anybody talk you out of it. You're gonna have to be the first. But just because you've never seen it done before doesn't mean it can't be done. What it means is that you've been picked, you've been called out to go where no one else in your family has ever gone.
I walked in my first day of high school full of confidence until I passed the principal's office. And he was 6'6", 240 pounds. Everybody else called him Mr. Bond, but I called him Dad. That first day of school was the longest day of my life. I attended high school in Chicago's inner city where my father was the principal of our high school. I got to the lunchroom and I ate lunch all by myself. I could hear my classmates whisper, right there. I couldn't wait to get home. I made up my mind, when I get home, I'm gonna throw a pity party. Go ahead and cry, feel sorry for yourself. Be angry, be frustrated, but I only give you 3 days. I went home that first day of school and I threw me a 3-day pity party. You guys don't know me, but I know how to party. Peak performers always think positively.
And I promise you, on the other side, being first, when you turn around and you see your nephews coming through, when you see your auntie and your uncles coming through, the blaze, the trail that you have blazed, what you will realize is that the joy of your life. I challenge you today. Don't wait to be second or third. Go on and be the first. Don't wait to be the last one in. Go ahead and be the first, because you're the first fruit. There's going to be a reward. God is calling you the seed in the earth. The planting of that seed is going to reap a harvest of blessings in your life and in your family's life. So I challenge you, go ahead and be the first. Stop waiting. Go ahead and be the first.
Because that's what life is about. Do we fall down and stay down, or do we lift each other up and carry on? That is what we do. This is who we are. We are all students of life. So never forget, no matter how much you think you know, you never know enough, because if you're living, you're learning. Remember that you're living, you're learning, you're growing. Through the good times and the bad time, you're learning something unique.
Hopefully, I can get through the 12th round. A champion, he sits in that corner while all of his people are talking to him. He didn't hear shit. All he's thinking about is, I have to find what I haven't given. It's that mentality that truly separates the champions
I used to be embarrassed about lies I told, cheated on, things I quit. I was embarrassed about all that shit. So a lot of people had things on me, and they had power over me. They could use this whenever they wanted to.
Because you and I are the aspirin to somebody's headache. How long will you let them suffer? Because you got to keep moving forward. Because you have to help somebody reach their destiny. You have to help somebody get to the next level in life. So I'm asking you, how far are you willing to go? What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to give up in order to gain something greater? Why be normal when you can be extraordinary?
I'm learning. You're probably thinking that this ain't got nothing to do with me. It's got everything to do with you. Because maybe you got the right things happening right now for you, but to your right, that guy over there, he ain't living so well, but to learning something. Because if the tables were turned, could you deal with it? Could you handle that stress? Could you handle that poverty? How long have you been homeless? How long have you been hungry? How long have you not had clothes on your back? How long have you been out of a job? Does your family walk out on you? Did your father walk out on you? Did your mother walk out on you? Are you going through a bad relationship? Have you lost your way? This is what you're learning right now.
And I didn't like how that felt. So I want to get to a spot in my life and let people drive by and see it. And I'm finally at that point. So when you get to that point, you kind of take that power back from people. But my question to you is this: are you at a point in your life where you can put a billboard up in your town and have folks drive by that? Stay hard.
Being the color I am, not real dark, and being light complected, I didn't fit in anywhere. I got called nigger around whites. I got called half-breed and sold out around some blacks. My mind was in the valley. I was stuck in there. Until I was willing to climb the mountain and look down on the reality of my life. The reality of my life was I had a lot of friends. I didn't see that. I saw this. A lot of us were predisposed. So our mindset does one thing. You hear one thing, and you're ready to jump the gun and go off.
I want you to know that you matter. Yep, I said it. You. Not anybody else, but you. You matter. When you wake up in the morning, I want you to know what you do matters. When you brush your teeth in the morning, I want you to know that you matter. When you iron your clothes in the morning and you don't feel like getting out of bed, I want you to know that you matter. I want you to understand that you matter because what you do could change somebody's life and the trajectory of what they can overcome. I want you to know that you matter because nobody ever told me that I mattered. I want you to know that you matter because you got people that's dependent on you right now. You may have some kids. You may have some younger siblings. You may have mom, dad, grandma, auntie. There's somebody out there that's dependent on you.
Sometimes we all got to learn the hard way. How many times as a child, you heard your mother and father tell you not to do something, but you did anyway, and you had to learn the hard way? It wasn't the fact that you got disciplined perhaps by your parents, but the world disciplines you more. That's what makes it beautiful. Hard times sometimes can be the best times. Why? Because you're going to build up something. You're going to build up that grit. You're going to build up that tenacity.